Dr. Dream. What? Oh, is that song? Freak, bro. Oh my god. Hello? Hello? Can anyone hear me? Hello? Oh, he's got that. Oh my god. Stop. Alright, come on. I got this. Oh my god. They gave me the worst gun. Second session. Oh, freak. I wasn't even paying attention to that gun. I just landed in the tree and had to. Or you just broke the tree. Idiot. So obviously he was waiting for you while we tried to edit. That guy's spot. Yeah, he sucks. Before we walk in. Trap. Good, didn't hit him for 100. Like, bro, somebody fight someone. Oh my god. You try to shoot it out when that guy's connected. Watch the guy that took the launch pad. This guy's a bot. Can you go out of now deserved it actually. Thank you. No.
Oh, I saw most of the writers. I'm not overly worried about masculinity. It's a little old and a little white.
I need you.
You love me.
No, I didn't say that.
We're very fortunate to have a team where I'm involved with 3 other composers. I'm one of the 4. All very intimately know each other's music and styles and know how to contrast each other. And it's a reverse order in this sense where the development team is making the game around our music.
Cool.
They're even making a lot of the art style and the level design and character designs around Ellie, for example. There's like a reverse order. Usually, like the game is made, it's like now making music. We're actually developing in tandem with it, and we'll design the boss and the levels around our music. And also, we have to be gamers ourselves. We're all rhythm gamers. The 4 of us, just like Paz, from rhythm games, even though we're not making a rhythm game.
Right.
So there's a lot of fluidity between us, Paz, and some of the other teams that's just straight familiar with the game.
Oh my god.
Understanding of how rhythm games and like attacks would be applied to composing music, or it being composed to our music.
Right.
We're very fortunate to have him because he also understands the technicalities of the music, not just just the overlay track, but what involved with the game design from the very beginning. Yeah, we're very happy to have someone like him to totally understand fully the role of music in games.
That design philosophy sounds like really interesting to me, but also you were saying that you can also memorize the music and know what's coming. How does that influence the intensity? Because I feel like you could really make it tough for the music playing that kind of a role of like cluing me into what to do and when.
Okay, so I think one of our biggest inspirations for this game is Backstreet. So yeah, I know it seems more beginner friendly than Dark Souls.
There's rhythm to the way you attack.
Yeah.
Dark Souls.
Yes.
It's kind of like a musical rhythm, even though it's not immediately obvious.
And the enemy swings a sword, you know when to roll back and then come back in. Kind of. The other thing I want to highlight here is that, you know, I love Crypt of the Necrodancer, for example, and Patapon as well, you know, those kind of games, but you're still pressured to follow the rhythm in a certain way, or else you will lose a lot of things, right? So what we did with this game is that we have a very clear visual framework for you to follow the music. So a lot of the attacks you can't parry, so those are just, you just have to avoid and then find a gap in between to attack back. But there are places where you can actually parry in this game. For example, in this,
There are a lot of visual indicators.
yeah. So like for example, in this boss case, right, later on he will be causing a black hole that will suck all the planets in. So if the planet is purple, then you actually parry it, and the planets will cut you in a certain, you know, on the down. So if you're able to parry it, then yeah, you have a better advantage.
Like this flaming beam keeps rotating every 2 bars or every 8 beats. You know, if you have some musical jargon. Like a lot of the world and the boss attacks adhere to music, but which gives you an advantage if you're keen to it, but you're not pressured to play rhythmically at the same time.
So if someone's like, I love music, but I don't necessarily really feel like I'm talented at it, that wouldn't hinder them in this game.
It would not hinder
No, definitely.
you. You would only have an advantage if you were more musically inclined.
Right. And
I believe you have rhythm sense.
Yeah,
Trust me.
thank you.
So the whole goal of this game is to tell you that you actually have rhythm sense.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's just because you were given the constraints of the input device or the way you participate in the music. That was a problem.
I want to ask you, because I know that there are probably a lot of people watching in chat like me who enjoy both rock and EDM and lots of different styles of music. And I know that the hashtag for you guys is rock versus EDM. But as I'm listening to the music I'm hearing in the enjoying all of that. So can you talk to us about the musical variety and what kinds of music enthusiasts will like this game?
Okay, so I will let Tejman follow up on that, but we actually divided the music into 3 channels, backing, melody and rhythm, and we multiply that with a matrix of 3 genres, so rock, EDM and one specific genre. So for this case it's disco. So depending on the situation, the ATP, the distance to the boss, we actually switch channels accordingly.
Interesting.
So you will actually, for example, hear one version of EDM, 2 layers of disco. And once you defeat the boss, once you get here to defeating the boss, then you will switch on to layers of rock, for
Interesting.
example. And for example, the boss, this is the one where you have to parry.
The glowing point, you know, it's far in advance, and you got 4 beats. That's a cue to parry.
And you know, if you don't want to parry, you can just jump over them, no problem.
I love the art style. What influenced the art style of the game?
Wow, there's a lot. I mean, I can speak on behalf of my co-founders and so I think we don't limit ourselves to too much of the reality of the world. So for example, people don't have to be of skin color, you know, in the real world. Yeah, so Steven Universe was, you know, one of our games. And we also love our Team Schafer games. Yeah, so they're not constrained to a certain, you know, like for example, the head is to be this big, you know.
Right.
So yeah, so we are more free to do whatever. We're more funky.
A little bit of a kind of reminiscent of Jet Set Radio.
Yes,
Right, I
yes,
can
that's
see
all I
that.
say that.
Well,
I love Jet Set Radio.
I know a lot of people are probably asking questions, where can we learn more? When can we get our hands on this game? Can you tell us the stats that way?
Okay, sure. So the game is going to be available early 2020. Sorry, the trailer that we have just now was slightly old. So we have already signed up with the publisher. Okay. Sold out. We are very proud to announce that we are signing with them, and they are actually also willing to push out physical copies of the game.
Great.
So that is available early 2020.
Early 2020.
And you can find out more in our our Facebook, Metronomic. You actually see right now? Oh, no, maybe not. Sorry. So yeah, you can follow us on Metronomic.
There you go.
And metronomic.com as well for more info. Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you guys so much for coming by. I'm really excited to check out this game, and
Thank you, Anna.
a love letter to music is something I can totally get behind.
Yep.
Guys, don't go anywhere because we have lots more games coming up from E3 on Twitch right after this.
Think she can't get a last-second clutch? Watch this. Think he can't carry his team while streaming in high resolution? All the while recording a once-in-a-lifetime win? Watch this. Think leveling up only happens in-game? Watch this. On Intel Core i7, they'll rise to every challenge. Now it's your turn. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. Think she can't get a last-second clutch? Watch this. Think he can't carry his team while streaming in high resolution? All the while recording a once-in-a-lifetime win? Watch this. Think leveling up only happens in-game? Watch this. On Intel Core i7, they'll rise to every challenge. Now it's your turn. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
Welcome back to E3 on Twitch, everyone. My name is Kelly Link, and unfortunately, it is the last day. But that doesn't mean we don't have any games. In fact, we have plenty of games to show you all. But first, let's check out this trailer for Rad.
Christian.
You are Rad.
was rad. I mean, from the visuals to the music to the action that's going on, I can't wait to get into it. Joining me here up on stage, I have, of course, Ezekiel the Third, as lovely as ever.
Of course, if it's Indy, it's me.
And then we got Greg from Double Fine, and you're going to be showing us Rad, which at first look is a roguelike action game, but it's so much more.
Yeah, it is. So it's a procedural roguelike from Lee Petty, who's project lead on this game, and he led Stacking and Headlander for us at Double Fine. This is his new one. And yeah, it's a post-apocalyptic world set in kind of like an 80s inspired future setting, where yeah, every time you play the game, you're dropped into something totally unique and random.
I mean, 80s first. As soon as it started, Zeke, the music.
Yes, absolutely. That is one of the things that I've said many times over and over and over again. I can't reiterate it enough. Music and sound design will make a good game excellent.
Yeah.
Can you give shout outs or whatever props to any of the musicians
so
and
that's
sound
our
design?
composer Dave Earl. So he did our music on Headlander as well, and got a bunch of old synths and worked with a lot of musicians from the 80s as well on the soundtrack too, so it's beautiful. It looks like we're jumping into gameplay now, so you'll see kind of the main mechanic here is this idea of world transformation and mutation. So as you walk through the world, there's kind of like beautiful green grass and plants growing behind you, and you're kind of bringing the world back to life. But in doing so, you're constantly absorbing the radiation from the world and slowly mutating over time, and that's what the powers are throughout the game.
And that's one of the biggest aspects of the game, mutations. What exactly is it? Is it after a certain point, do you just randomly mutate, or can you choose how you mutate?
Yeah, so from killing enemies and other items throughout the game, you're slowly filling this kind of progression meter at the top, which is your rad meter. And when that happens, you'll randomly mutate, and you never really know exactly what you'll get. They're not necessarily always kind of offensive attacks, but in the trailer you saw some of that kind